Good morning, good afternoon or good evening. So this is our third practice through February 2023. So I hope you're having a lovely day, lovely morning already. And come to sitting on your mat. In the body, nice and comfortable. Shoulders over the hips, crown of the head over the heart. Let the knees relax out. Find a tiny little gap between the feet so you're not having too much tension in the body. Feel free to sit on a block or a blanket or a cushion and gently draw the belly in. And the palms facing up to the sky. And take those shoulders up, around and back. And do that 2 more times. Take an inhale with the breath as you lift the shoulders up, back, and release the breath. One more time, just like that. And begin to settle. Maybe drop the chin a tiny little bit to find some length at the back of the neck. Palms facing up to sky, close the eyes. Bring the thumbs and the middle fingers together, air and space or ether. Breathing in and out through the nose. Settling into your posture, settling into your sit bones. Beginning to engage the spine and the core. Send the crown of the head towards the sky to find that little bit of extra space between the vertebrae. Let the knees settle away from the centre of the body. Softly opening the eyes, bring the hands together at heart's centre. Our affirmation today, if you choose to come with me, is I am breathing. I am breathing. I am breathing. Beautiful. Releasing those hands all the way down to earth. Sitting tall through the crown of the head. Taking an inhale, both hands to sky all the way up. Bring the palms together and lengthen on that inhale. On your exhale, you're going to take a gentle twist, bringing that right hand to right knee if you're mirroring me. Bring that left hand behind and inhale. Nice and gentle, let those knees fall away from centre. Draw the belly button in. Just looking to the side for the first breath. Nice and soft in the belly, let that belly release. Your next exhale, whenever that is, maybe turn a little deeper to look over that back shoulder. We're going to take 2 breaths here in your own time. Let those knees melt away from centre. Softly and gently turn the gaze back to centre, release the hands all the way up to sky. Palms together, bring those hands in through heart centre, let the shoulders soften, push the palms together, thumbs into the breastbone. Come back to your affirmation, I am breathing. take an inhale, lift both hands all the way up to sky. Coming into your twist on the opposite side. Just a nice gentle twist. Feel free to turn the palm facing away from you. Send the crown of the head up to sky. Find that length in the spine. And on your exhale, maybe turn to look over that back shoulder. Let that belly relax and release. Take in 2 more breaths here. Gently turn that gaze back to centre. Float both hands all the way up and release all the way down. Remember, if you want to hear me a little bit louder, maybe put your earbuds in. Take an inhale, bring that right hand all the way up. We're coming all the way over to that left knee, and then gently ease your way back into that twist. Maybe take that gaze a little further this time over that back shoulder, and maybe bring those hands in towards the spine and the sit bones. Take a deep, deep breath here. Sigh it away. Release the gaze back to centre, both hands all the way up to sky. Beautiful. Release those hands all the way down to earth. Tuck the chin nice and long. Inhale, left hand all the way up to sky. All the way over. Take that right hand behind and come into that twist, maybe a little deeper this side. Let those knees melt away. Take a breath here. Release the breath. One more breath. No rush. Inhale the gaze back to centre, both hands all the way up. Beautiful. Release those hands down to earth. Take an inhale, left hand all the way up. Coming all the way over. We're not coming into a twist this time. We're going to come all the way down and around. Beautiful. Switching sides. Bring that left hand all the way up, all the way over, and all the way around. I'm going to continue with this flow just to gently find mobility in those shoulders. Begin to wake those hips up as you come all the way around. You can go at your own pace, as fast or as slow as you want. Just make sure that you're breathing. Inhaling on the way up. And exhaling on the way down and around. Inhale. Really enjoy that shoulder beginning to wake up. Those hips beginning to come into your practice. Maybe come a little further this time, a little further forward. Beautiful. We're going to do one more each side. Going all the way over and round. Inhale into sky. Last time. Coming all the way around. Coming back to centre. Inhale, hands all the way to sky. You're going to tilt a little bit on the diagonal towards that left knee, and you're going to float those hands all the way down. Keep those sit bones on earth as you begin to melt all the way. You're going to feel that stretch on the outside of that right rib, those right hips, those right thighs. So we're just going to pause here and let those hips just find a little bit of comfort. So if you're holding on, with that exhale, release. Maybe tuck the chin a little bit. Maybe close the eyes here as that body just begins to waken and open. Release through the breath. One more. Exhale. And then begin to crawl those hands around centre. You're staying in that fold. Bringing those hands all the way down. Maybe tuck the chin and just fold a little bit to earth. Doesn't matter how far. This is not about flexibility. Let those shoulders come down, let those knees melt away. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, release. And then maybe walk those hands all the way around to the right hand side. You're going to melt all the way over, bend those elbows, melt towards that knee, but keep those sit bones on earth, both sides. Close the eyes and come into the breath. Notice where you're feeling this. Begin to tune into that breath. One more nice long breath here. Exhale, release. Gently begin to walk those hands back to centre. Slowly uncurl and untwist. Bring those hands all the way up to sky. Take the gaze with you this time. Bring those hands through heart centre. Bring those hands to the knees. Bring the knees in. Send the feet all the way out. Remember which leg was crossed where. And then recross them with the opposite leg in front. You might feel a little bit strange on this side. That's okay. That's because it's not your natural posture. So begin to draw that belly in. Find that nice beautiful spine. Take an inhale. Take those shoulders open back. Beautiful. Inhale to sky. And then begin to open the heart. Take those elbows down towards those ribs all the way down. Up and through the heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Inhale, lift and find your smile. Remember, smiles release that happy hormone. Exhale, last time, inhale to sky. Pause at the top this time. And then gently begin to turn on that diagonal and then float towards your left knee if you're working with me. I'm mirroring you. So let that body melt towards earth. Tuck the chin, melt towards. See how that feels on this side. It might feel completely different. A lot easier, a lot gentler. Maybe, maybe not. Let those shoulders release. Breathe deep into the belly here. One more breath just like that. Gently push the earth away and walk those hands back to centre. You might find that you can reach a little bit further this time. Bend the elbows and melt into your fold. Remember to tuck the chin but draw it back so the spine and the neck are nice and in line. Those elbows come down, let those elbows come down to earth, but make sure those sit bones are down on the earth. 2 more breaths here. Gently push the heels of the hands into earth. Lengthen through that spine again as you walk those hands all the way over to the opposite side, to the right hand side, and then begin to melt. You might find this a little deeper on this side, a little tighter. You might feel it coming all the way up the back ribs, that back hip, maybe into the shoulders. Just begin to breathe here. To take the weight a little bit out of the hands. So if you're holding on for dear life up here, try to soften. Maybe we'll do one more breath here. Take an inhale. When you're ready, walk those hands back through centre. Notice how that feels and see if you can now bring those elbows down. Maybe you found a little bit more space. I'm going to pause here, just for 2 breaths. Gently push the hands to earth and begin to slowly walk those hands back to centre, just releasing through. Sit nice and tall, bring those hands to the knees and bring those knees all the way in. Pause here with those ankles crossed, then gently and softly tilt back and let those heels float off the mat. Take hold of those feet, draw them in. Now sit back up tall and come into your balance. You don't always have to be standing for balances or even on one leg. So just let those feet float off the earth, draw the belly in. Now begin to zip up that pelvic floor. Really important for the ladies out there. Doesn't matter whether you're male or female, please do work with your pelvic floor. Everybody has pelvic floor muscles, but especially important for us ladies. Take a breath here. Squeeze, 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 hold. And exhale, release those feet all the way down, release the grip and come all the way over to all fours today. Beautiful. Bring those hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Give yourself a little rock from side to side just to release through those side ribs. We've done some side stretching, some twisting already, so just let them release. Beautiful. Come back to centre. Maybe take those arms a little bit further away, just away from under the shoulders, tuck the toes and come and send those hips up into your first downward dog of the day. Begin to maybe find a little movement here, movement that suits you. Might be paddling the feet, might be swaying the hips from side to side, might be nodding the head forwards and back side to side. Begin to find that movement, let those hamstrings begin to release. Beautiful. Now when you're ready, find that stillness, push into the heels of the hands, mount those heels towards the earth. Remember, heels may not ever come down to earth, that is okay. But send your heart towards your toes, towards your knees. Have a look at your knees, make sure they're not knocking in. Take your feet so they're hip width apart, don't have them together. Take them a little bit wider maybe. Take a deep breath here, look forward. And on your exhale, begin to tippy-toe all the way up to the top of the mat, all the way forward. Ground through those feet, tuck the head and find that forward fold. Beautiful. Maybe you find a little rock, forwards and back, side to side, whatever feels good for you. These forward folds are really beautiful for the body. Help to let that spine unwind, let the neck unravel, let the gravity do its thing. Begin to bend the legs and begin to ragdoll all the way up, grounding through those feet. Just letting the body come all the way up. Take those hands all the way up to the sky. Bring the palms together and then begin to soften the knees as we come all the way down. Inhaling into your flat back, bring those hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Bend the knees, take those hands wide as you come all the way back up to sky. Letting that body begin to gently wake up, draw the belly in as you float all the way back down. Lead with the heart. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale, fold. Take those hands wide, come all the way up. Let the breath work with you here. Exhale through heart center all the way down. Let that body, that lower back release by bending the knees. Inhale, flat back. Fold. Take those hands wide, coming all the way around. Coming all the way up. Oh, exhale, fold. Beautiful. That That body should be beginning to feel really nice now. Inhale. Lift and fold. Ground through those big toes. Bring those hands all the way up to sky. Exhale, release. Beautiful, all the way down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Finding a little more energy in the feet this time. A little more in the body as you come into your fold. Maybe the legs are staying that time a little bit longer. Inhale. Exhale. Lift and rise all the way. We're going to do one more round of these before we begin to add on. So really lengthen this time. Really find that little bit extra length. Fold. Last time. Before we add on. Not too taxing as we begin to add on. Find that little bit of strength. Our half sun salutations here. Folding down and then beginning to maybe come into our full sun salutations. Bring those hands through to heart center. Let those shoulders soften. Pause here. Release those hands down to your mountain pose, down into your Tadasana. Palms facing forward, take those shoulders up towards the ears, all the way round and back, and open that heart just like we did before. Now ground through all four corners of the feet. Bring those hands through to heart center, tuck the belly in, tuck that tailbone under. Come back to your affirmation. I am breathing. Inhale, lift to sky. Exhale, fold. Find your flat back. Plant the hands, step all the way back into your plank. Breath here. Lower the knees and tuck the toes, elbows in as you melt towards the earth and find that baby cobra. Nice and gentle, push the top of the feet into earth. Release, tuck the toes. Bend the knees, come all the way up into your downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Release the breath. Bend the knees, look forward, step all the way up to the top of the mat. Take an inhale, lengthen. Fold. Ground and rise, take those hands wide as you come all the way up. Hands through heart center, find your Tadasana. Release the shoulders. Big breath in, hands to heart. Release the breath. Inhale, ground and rise those hands. Through heart center, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step back to your plank. Lower the knees and tuck the toes. Brush the elbows, come all the way down, find your baby cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, bend the knees, float all the way up to your downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Look forward, bend the knees, step all the way up to the top of the mat. Come into your flat back. Fold. Ground and rise all the way. Finding that energy now as that body begins to wake up. Hands through heart center into Tadasana. Shoulders up, around and back. Opening through that heart, bring those hands through. I am breathing. Take an inhale, lift to sky. Fold. Lengthen. Step back. Plank. Lower the knees and tuck the toes, melt to earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, fold, tuck the toes, push all the way up to your downward facing dog. Beautiful, inhale here. When you exhale, step all the way up. Find your flat back. Ground and rise all the way. Hands through to heart center. Tadasana. Shoulders up, around and back. Open that heart, ground through those big toes. hands back to heart center. I am breathing. Inhale, lift to sky. Fold. Inhale. Step all the way back to your plank. Inhale here. Lower the knees and tuck the toes, melt. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Push the mat away, downward dog. Take a deep breath here. Bend the knees, step all the way up to the top of the mat. Flat back, inhale. Fold. Ground and rise, hands wide. Beautiful, exhale. Hands to Tadasana. We're adding on this time. So just come with us, don't worry if you're a step behind me, it's all okay. You don't need to look at the screen, just listen carefully, you know where you're going. Inhale, hands to sky. Fold. Lift, flat back. Exhale, step back to your downward dog. Right leg to sky. Right foot forward all the way between the hands. Lower the back knee and tuck the back toe. Don't rush, it's all good. Lower those hips. Inhale into your low lunge. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, find your plank. Lower the knees and tuck the toes and melt to earth. You're going to inhale into your cobra. Exhale, fold. Tuck the toes, push the mat away, downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Left foot top of the mat. Lower the knee and tuck the toe. Release those hips. Lengthen through the heart as you lift to sky. Exhale, fold. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, step back to your plank. Beautiful. Lower the knees and tuck the toes, melt to earth. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, release, tuck the toes, push up into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Slow the breath down. Inhale. Exhale, top of the mat. Find your flat back with your breath. And fold. Ground and rise, come all the way up. Release through to heart center. Inhale, lift to sky. Fold. Inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg to sky. Exhale, right foot top of the mat. Lower the knee and tuck the toes, no rush. Inhale, lift, low lunge. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, lift the knee, step back to your plank. Lower the knees and tuck the toes, melt to earth. Inhale, lift through the heart. Exhale, release, tuck the toes, bend the knees, push all the way back up to your downward facing dog. Take an inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, left foot top of the mat. Lower the back knee and tuck the toes. Lift the heart all the way up. Release through. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, step back to your plank. Lower the knees and tuck the toes and melt. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release, tuck the toes, bend the knees, come back to your downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Body should be nice and warm now. Slow the breath down. Inhale. Bend the knees, step all the way up. Find your flat back with your inhale. Fold. Ground and rise all the way to sky. Hands through to heart centre. Last one here before we add on again. Take an inhale, lift to sky. Fold. Inhale. Exhale, step back to your downward facing dog. Right leg to sky. Right foot top of the mat. Lower the knee and tuck the toes, float all the way up. Exhale. Step back to your plank. Breathe here. Lower the knees, exhale. All the way down and inhale into cobra. Exhale, release, tuck the toes, bend the knees, push all the way up, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, heel, left leg to sky. Exhale, left foot top of the mat. Lower the knee and tuck the toes. Lower those hips. Float all the way up. Exhale, release. Step back to your plank. Breathe here. Lower the knees and tuck the toes and melt to earth. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Tuck the toes, push the mat away. Downward dog. 3 breaths here. Recover. Slow the breath down. Maybe close the eyes. Inhale. Bend the knees, step all the way up. Find your flat back, lengthen. Fold. Ground and rise. Beautiful, bring those hands through to heart center, pause here. Release to your Tadasana. You're doing really well. Take those shoulders up and back all the way. Beautiful. Bring those hands through to heart center. Come into your affirmation. I am breathing. When you're ready, inhale to sky. Swan dive this time. Exhale, fold. Flat back. Bend the knees, step back to downward dog. Remember, we're adding on this time. Inhale, right leg to sky. Look forward, set that right foot forward. Keep that back knee lifted. So find your balance first. Push into that back heel before you lift into your crescent lunge. Breathe. Exhale, fold. Step back to your plank. We're going to take a breath here. Keep those knees lifted as you rock forward onto the toes, over the wrists, and then melt to earth. Beautiful. Inhale, cobra. Exhale. Tuck the toes, push the mat away, come back to your downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, top of the mat. Find your balance first before you lift to sky. Low lunge. Exhale. Step back to plank. Breathe. Rock forward and then lower. Inhale. Cobra or upward facing dog. Float those knees, push into the feet. Exhale, release down into your downward facing dog, your choice. Take a deep breath here. Exhale. Bend both knees, step all the way up to the top of the mat. Fold. Inhale, lift to sky. Beautiful. Bring those hands through to heart center. Step those feet together this time. We're going to always come to feet together on this round because we're going to bring our chair into posture. So draw that belly in, find that nice strength in those legs, really ground through the big toes. When you're ready, hands to heart, take an inhale, lift to sky, and then sit into your chair. Breathe. Fold all the way. Find your flat back. Exhale, step back to your downward dog. Right leg to sky. Right foot top of the mat. Inhale, lift. Fold. Step back to your plank. It's up to you whether you lower the knees or not here. Rock forward onto the toes, melt to earth. Untuck the toes, maybe find your upward facing dog or your cobra. Exhale, come back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, left foot top of the mat. You know where we're going now. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Step back to your plank. Your choice, knees up or down. Breathe. Rock forward. Exhale all the way down. Up to you whether you're in your upward facing dog or cobra. Come all the way back to your downward facing dog. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Close the eyes. Open the eyes, inhale. Bend the knees, top of the mat. Find your flat back. Unfold. Ground and rise, hands wide as you come all the way to sky. Hands through heart center. Release to your Tadasana. I am breathing, hands to heart center. Remember, feet are together here, so if they're not quite together, bring them back. Take an inhale, lift to sky. Settle into your chair. Exhale, fold. Flat back. Bend the knees, step all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to sky. Right foot top of the mat. Lift and rise. Fold. Release into plank. Breath here. Melt to earth. Upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. Come all the way back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left foot top of the mat. Find your balance and lift into your lunge. Exhale, fold. Step back to your plank. Knees up or down, it's up to you. Rock forward and melt. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Draw that breath in deep. You'll feel your heart beginning to beat harder now. Slow it down. Inhale. Bend the knees, top of the mat. Big toes together. Inhale, flat back. And fold. Bend the knees, sit back into your chair, lift the hands. Hands through to heart center, come all the way standing. Beautiful. Inhale, lift. Settle down into your chair. Breathe. Fold with your exhale. Inhale. Exhale, step back, downward dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, right foot top of the mat. Inhale to sky. Release. Plank. Breath. into your cobra, your upward facing dog, and then come back to your downward facing dog, left leg to sky. Left foot top of the mat. Lift. Release. Plank. Lower. Lift. Breathe. Exhale, come all the way back to your downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. This is a lovely time to catch up. If you're a movement behind, this is your catch up time. It's all okay. There is no rush. Take it in your time. You do not have to be exactly the same. Let that breath go. Take control. Inhale. Bend the knees, top of the mat, feet together. Flat back. And fold. Bend the knees, sit back and come into your chair. Beautiful, grind and rise all the way to sky. Whoops, falling off my feet. And release to heart centre. Well done. Take an inhale and lift. Swan dive all the way down. Beautiful. Inhale, flat back. Beautiful. Fold. This time bend the knees and send just the right leg back. Just the right leg back. Pause. In your high lunge, lower those hips. Come up onto the fingertips, look forward. Beautiful. Just find that length in the body here. Take a breath. And then float those hands once you've got your balance. Release those shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath here. And then lower that back heel and come into your warrior 2. Looking forward over that front left finger, middle finger. And just be here now. Find your stillness. Looking forward into your future. Beautiful. Remember, yoga is always about you. It's not about me. It's not about my body. It's about you. Maybe see if you can come a little deeper into that front knee. Lower the back hand, turn the front palm up, stay in that knee as you find your reverse warrior. Beautiful. Depending on your neck, maybe you want to turn to that pinky toe behind, or maybe you want to open up through that top shoulder a little bit. It's up to you. Breathe. Release into your warrior 2. And then begin to straighten through that front leg. That's nice. We're going to come into our triangle pose here, our Trikonasana. So maybe you want to rest that right hand on your hip. And then you're going to reach as far forward as is comfortable for you and as low as you can go. And then take that hand to your shin, that left hand, or you can bring it all the way down to earth, your choice. As long as your spine is long and straight, that's where we're going. So this is about having straight legs. So if you have a bent leg because you're trying to get your hand on the floor, straighten that leg and bring the hand higher up. It's fine. This is about space. Remember, we're using ether today. So you find where you're comfortable. And then maybe float that right arm up to sky. Open up. Find the space. This is not about flexibility. This is not about strength. It's about space. Breathe here. You can gaze down at the big toe if that's more comfortable for the neck. Doesn't matter, there's no right or wrong. But do suck those left ribs, under, and those right ribs open. Breathe here. When you're ready, take those right hands, place them on your hip. Unlock that front knee, so be mindful that you've not locked it out, and then float all the way up to your reverse triangle, so legs are straight here. Breathe. Just be mindful as you come up. Exhale, warrior 2, settle down into that front knee. Well done. Take an inhale, lift to sky. Beautiful. Bring those hands through heart center. Turn those left toes in and those right toes out. Repeat that on the opposite side. If you need to rearrange yourself on the mat so you can still see me, feel free. Take those arms wide and then settle into that right knee. Look over that front middle finger. And just breathe here. Maybe settle a little deeper now into that front knee. You're going to feel that in the hips. So imagine you're drawing these inner thighs in towards each other. So really scoot through those feet. Did you hear my knee wake up then? Scoot here. At least you know I practice what I preach. You can hear my body doing its things. When you're ready, lower that back palm, turn that front palm up and come into your reverse warrior. That front knee is still bent, so maybe you want to go a little deeper. Remember, you can turn to that pinky toe with the head and the neck, or open through that top shoulder. It's up to you. When you're ready, come back to your warrior two. Turn around, have a look at that back arm, make sure it's not down here and it's all the way up. When you're ready, straighten through that front leg, that right leg, take your left hand to your hip, and then you're going to lengthen all the way, and then lower that hand. It can come, as we discussed, to the shin, come to the earth, can come to the outside or the inside, whatever's right for you. Just be mindful you don't lock your knee out. And when you're ready, open through that shoulder. Keep those legs straight, so if you need to, bring that hand halfway up, it's fine. It's fine, it's about space, not flexibility. When you're ready, this left hand, bring it forward in a big circle. Sometimes that helps open through those shoulders. Turn to look up to sky. Only if it's comfortable for the neck, of course. Find that space, that quietness. When you're ready, release that left hand onto your hip. Bend into that front knee a tiny little bit just to release. You're going to stay with straight legs, and as you come up, you're going to find your reverse triangle. You can lengthen through that left arm if you want. Turn to look to sky. Nice long breath. Let that breath come all the way down that side body into the bottom of those ribs. And then when you're ready, bend into that front knee, warrior two. Beautiful. Well done. Take an inhale, straighten through. Bring those hands through to heart center and turn those right toes in. So I know you might want to rearrange your mat so you're facing, so I'll just give you a couple of seconds to do that. But you know where you're going, it's all fine. Take an inhale, lift to sky. You can do this. Unless you've never done yoga before, in which case you will need to see me or a friend. Gently fold all the way down to earth. You're going to tuck your chin and look between your legs. So your crown of your head is coming down towards earth. Maybe you're going to walk those hands back between the legs a little. And we're just going to breathe here. Keep those legs nice and straight, but don't lock them out, so nice macro bend in the knees. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, begin to lift the head, straighten through the arms if they were nice and soft. Come up onto the fingertips so you're nice and long in the body, and then begin to walk both hands to the top of your mat. Bring in those left toes forward, right fingers round, or you might be coming to the right side of your mat. Lower the hips. It doesn't matter which way you're going, so as long as you're nice and comfortable that you can see the screen if that's where you want to be. And then begin to plant the hands. Lower the back knee, untuck the back toe and step that leg back. So you're back to all fours. Beautiful. We're going to come into some cat and cows. So you're going to lower the belly, look forward, inhale as you lift. Exhale as you tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Going at your pace. Exhaling as you tuck. Push that mat away, draw the belly in, zip up that pelvic floor, and then release, open the heart. 2 more just like this. Pause at centre and begin to crawl those knees all the way forward. Cross the ankles behind and come all the way over to seated. Beautiful. I'm going to come a little closer now that we're down on the mat. If I come closer, it's a little bit better, but when I'm stood up, my head chops off. So coming to the centre of your mat. Beautiful. Bend the knees nice and comfortable for you. Sit nice and tall in the body, so bring that lower back in. So we're not here, we are here. Shoulders open back, draw the belly in, bring those palms forward. Beautiful. Now bring those hands together, send that index finger away. Take an inhale here, lift to sky. And then exhale, both hands to the right hand side. We're not going back yet. Inhale to sky. Exhale left. You'll still feel this in the obliques. Inhale, also in the hip flexors. Switching sides each time. Keep that strength in those arms. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. To centre. And then bring those hands out in front, palms facing up to sky, and begin to come back. Draw the belly in, maybe float those knees. And maybe engage those feet. Are you breathing? Are you smiling? Hope you've enjoyed this practice today. We are beginning to come down onto the mat now, so just let that core do a little bit of work before we come down. And then begin to lengthen halfway. Halfway. And release. Well done. We're not finished yet. Don't get quite excited yet. Bring those feet into towards the bottom. Tilt the tailbone and just draw that belly in. Push the feet into earth, leading with the tailbone, and very slowly lift all the way. When you get to the top, draw that pelvic floor in. We're going to hold it for 3, 2, 1. Release the pelvic floor. Inhale, squeeze it in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slow. Coming up to 5. Squeeze that pelvic floor in. 1, for 2, for 3, for 4. Squeeze a little more for 5. Exhale, release 1 vertebrae all the way down at a time. Beautiful. Release down. Bring those knees into chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Oh, bring that breath nice and long in the body. And then pause at centre. And take those knees wide. You're going to come into happy baby. So you can hold on to the ankles, the outer foot or the big toes. It's up to you. And then you're going to send those feet up to sky and those knees down towards the earth. Take the knees really, really wide. And then begin to tuck the chin. Take the gaze up to sky and take those feet out wide and bend those knees deep. So this is not a straight legged posture. This is a deep one. If it feels good and you want to rock from side to side, feel free. But if stillness is better for you, stay in your stillness. I find stillness a little bit more comfortable, but lots of people like to rock. Tuck the chin so the neck's nice and long. Just let those hips release. The video's not stopped. I'm just having a minute of silence, a minute of peace, a minute of breath. When you're ready, bring those toes together, release through. Beautiful. Keep those feet hip width apart, take those hands wide if you've got space. If you've not got space, you can cactus, or you can hold on to opposite elbows with opposite arms. No? Opposite hands. Opposite elbows with opposite hands. Feet are hip width apart. I'm just shuffling down here because I can see I'm disappearing off the top of the screen. And then when you're ready, let both knees fall all the way over to the right hand side, or whichever side you go, it's fine. Take as much space with those arms as you have. You can see this right knee of mine is lifting up. That's because I'm holding in my hip, so now I need to let it go. Just like that, let it go. Maybe turn that head to the opposite side just to bring that twist all the way up the spine. I am breathing. When you're ready, come back to center, both the gaze and the knees. And then with your exhale, switch sides. Let those knees release. Remember, yoga is 100% about you. It's not about anybody else, so never compare. Your body, your bones, your muscles, your skin is completely different and unique to you. So never compare your shape, your size, your body, your frame to anybody else. Yoga is a mind, body, breath, spirit experience. So why you practice, what you get out of your practice, is personal to you. It's not about fitness, it's not about mobility, it's not about flexibility. It's a whole holistic body experience. So you come to your mat for your reasons. Might change over the years, over the journey. Sometimes you might do it because you want to feel a little bit fitter, calmer. Flexibility and mobility are a side effect, really, of yoga, but it's a good side effect of yoga. Maybe it's for mental health, maintenance, healing. Maybe you need to decrease your stress, look after the body-mind. Gently come back to center when you're ready, and then begin to release into your shavasana today, your corpse pose. Take as much room up as you've got, so take those feet off the mat, take the arms. Maybe you want to bring them behind so you're in a big 5-pointed star. Take as much space as you've got. Remember, today is about space, it's about ether, so take that time. Take a deep, deep breath in through the nose into the belly. And then sigh it away. Take another breath in and pause at the top this time. Hold. Hold. Exhale, release. Make this the biggest breath of the whole day. And pause at the top. Take another breath in. Hold. And let it go. And begin to settle into your savasana today. Remember, your savasana can last as long as you want. The longer you better. The longer the better. So I'm going to leave you here now in your savasana. Hope you've enjoyed the practice today. Thank you for joining me. Stay as long as you want. Much health, much wealth, and much love. Namaste.